Hi YouTube, how's it going? So for a lot of you out there, you're looking at different phone reviews where a person will unbox a phone and tell you about how it feels, what it looks like. And I was looking at reviews on YouTube, just like probably a lot of you are. I decided to do a legit review. So this is the Motorola Citrus. And instead of talking about what it looks like and how it feels, I'm going to talk about all the problems that you're going to have with this phone because there's a lot. One of the biggest problems that it has is it restarts itself. It'll turn itself off and it'll have this logo, and then it'll come up with the Verizon and the carrier, by the way, is Verizon. And I've been on Verizon for about 4 or 5 years now. It's a pretty good network. I haven't had very many problems with drop calls or anything like that. Good coverage. Well, there are problems that I've had with the phone with the signal, so it's not because of Verizon, because I've had a lot of other phones. I've had 3 or 4 other phones on Verizon, and it's only this phone that I've had problems with. The other thing that I wanted to add is I haven't gotten this phone wet. I haven't dropped it. I haven't left it in extreme heat and sunlight. I haven't done anything like that with this phone. One of the most annoying problems that it has is it doesn't send text messages. It doesn't say that there's no signal because I do have service. But for example, I've been trying to send the same message to my friend. He's asking me what I was doing, and I wrote back grocery shopping. See the envelope with the X over it? That means that it hasn't sent, and it doesn't say why. I have service, and it's only with this person. It's certain contacts that it doesn't send messages to. But you can resend them over and over. The only other way that it works is if you turn the phone off and then back on again, or restart it the way that it does itself sometimes. Sometimes the screen doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't respond at all. It's a full touch screen. Sometimes the screen doesn't do anything. Sometimes it'll just act up on its own. It makes different selections and things that you didn't tell it to do, and the only way to make it stop is turn it off and turn it back on again. Another problem that it has is when you're charging it, it doesn't know how much of a charge it has. You'll leave it plugged in and it'll tell you the percentage. It'll say 80% charged, 90% charged. When it restarts itself again, it says a different amount. You'll turn it back on again and it'll say 50% charged, or it'll say that it's fully charged, and then it restarts itself and says that it's 80 or 90% charged. Lately I've noticed that I've been having problems with the calendar. It'll erase events or change the times on them. Yeah, for example, I changed the time, this second event down here, I changed it to 11:30 instead of 4:30 yesterday, and it changed itself back. Sometimes when you turn it off, it'll start to turn itself back on or restart itself when you just want it off. And sometimes it just turns off when you want it to restart. So it's just random. It doesn't do one or the other. Oh, one of the worst problems I have with this phone is it doesn't get calls. I'll have it right next to me for like 3 hours. It won't ring, nothing will happen. And then either I'll turn it off and turn it back on again, or it will restart itself, and then it'll say that I have a voicemail. It doesn't say a missed call. It doesn't say the number that was trying to call me. All it has is a voicemail, or it says nothing at all. Same thing happens with text messages, where you'll get them all at once. It's just one big dump of text messages. That's one of the most basic things that a phone is supposed to do, and it doesn't do it. One of the weird things that it does is, and if you choose the option resend unsent messages, it sends back messages that you received from the other person back to them, like an exact copy of everything that they said, emoticons, everything, but it sends it back to them saying that you wrote it out. So it just looks like you're a crazy person and copied exactly what they said in a text and sent it back to them. I would not recommend this phone to anyone. I've had it for a month. I think I've figured out all the problems that it has. You can get it for free with a contract, which now I know exactly why. It doesn't do anything right. It has so many problems with just basic functions that you need a phone to be able to do, like receiving calls, sending text messages. Just as a normal basic phone, it doesn't even do them correctly. Do not buy the Motorola Citrus. It is a piece of junk.